parents, teachers, administration, class of 95. When I thought about how I was going to start this graduation speech, many ideas came to mind. I could tell a joke, but that might bomb and embarrass me. I could say a quotation, but that might be too boring and put everyone to sleep. So I decided that telling everyone about how I struggled to find an introduction would be a great introduction in and of itself. So there it was. Instead of giving a prediction about the future, I would rather give my hope for the future. There are some things that would have to change if we are to have the best possible future in my view. So I will tell you the changes that have to be made in order for today's world to become my perfect world. First, everyone would have to be named either Mario or Maria, just because I like the sound of it. There would be 2 clothing sizes, big and bigger. Fat-free lasagna would be invented. The Democrats would still be in power. And everyone would have less than 10 items in grocery store express lanes. The most important changes in my perfect world from today's world, however, would be the change in people. First, people would respect one another. It sounds so simple, yet it's one of the hardest things to do. Respecting someone else doesn't mean you have to like them. It just means that you need to recognize the fact that they have the same right to be on this earth as you do. If people simply respected one another, it would be an important first step in combating discrimination. Even though there still would be prejudice, it's a lot harder to discriminate against someone you respect. People in my perfect world would also have a good sense of humor. A good sense of humor is one of the greatest things a person can have. People who are able to laugh at themselves are respected much more than those who are unwilling to take a joke. A great example of a good sense of humor was Mr. Michael Knight, a history teacher here at Rocky who tragically died a couple of months ago. Mr. Knight always had a good joke to start off class and get everyone's attention. He could also laugh at himself, often making fun of himself to give laughter to others. He always stressed that appearance was more important than reality. His funny sense of humor did not hide reality, however, it amplified it. Mr. Knight may have been a joker on the outside, but it was obvious that he really cared for his students on the inside. That is what I will remember Mr. Knight for the most. Everyone in my perfect world would also have to love themselves. It is no wonder why someone's self-esteem can be so low with today's advertisements, with messages like, "You'll never get a prom date with all of those zits," or "All of your problems will disappear if you just lose some weight." Society probably will never change their standards of near perfection, but no matter. Everyone can individually change and realize that no matter who you are, you have to love yourself. Loving yourself is somewhat like a good marriage. We are with ourselves every day, but inevitably we have our bad days where we don't like ourselves. The way I look at myself is, hey, this body keeps doing its job day in and day out without much sickness. It allows me to do things I love, like play tennis, and it gets a great tan. If people have a problem with that, then I won't lose any sleep about it. Loving yourself is also a necessity for other things, like respecting others. You can't respect other people until you learn to love yourself. I think it is safe to say that if people had more respect for others, had a better sense of humor, and loved themselves, today's world would be a better place, but not perfect. A perfect world for everyone cannot be achieved because everybody wants different things, but we can make our world more enjoyable if we follow our dreams. Next fall, some of us will be going to college, others will get a job, and a good few will still be partying. Whatever you choose to do, please remember these things. 1. Get a job that you either enjoy or you can stand doing. If you can avoid it, try not to get a job you absolutely hate doing, because generally, how you feel at work carries on to how you feel the rest of the day. Working a job you like will make you a happier person. A good example of this is most teachers. Most teachers are definitely smart enough to have higher paying jobs than they do. But why should they switch if they are happy with what they're doing and they're making a modest living at it? Some artists, like poet Walt Whitman, even worked for close to nothing, making just enough for adequate food and shelter, but were still happier than a millionaire because they were doing what they wanted to in life. The second and last important thing to remember in the future is to save. As many of you are already aware, the chances of our generation getting Social Security are very slim. About as slim of a chance as the O.J. Simpson trial ending this year. Since we will have money taken out of our checks for years, money we will never see again, we need to start saving now to make up for it. I know it's easy to say it, and doing it's another thing. But if everyone starts saving some amount of money regularly, it will help offset not getting Social Security in retirement. Well, now that everyone is emotionally and financially secure, I would like to end with a few thank yous and an excellent quotation. I'd like to thank my parents for their emotional and, most importantly, financial help. I'd also like to thank all of my teachers, from the great teachers like Mr. Hanson at Audubon to outstanding teachers like Miss Perkins and Mr. Wood at Rocky. My teachers have done an excellent job of helping me learn about life while still making things interesting. And now I'd like to end with a timeless quotation. It comes from the greatest source of knowledge in the 20th century, the Beatles, and their song, The End. In the end, the love you take is equal to the love you make. If everyone followed that reasoning, there wouldn't be any problems in any world. Good luck to us in the future, Class of '95, and thank you.